pulling off those experiences really help you. And it's like that's part of like being an optimist, is not saying like, oh, this isn't a bad situation. You'd be saying this is a bad situation, but I know how to get through it because I've been in other bad situations.
Yes.
And that's what I talk about as well, because that was the whole idea of my race to 50K. And basically everything I'm doing now is like, I came straight from the Peace Corps, 3 years over there, living in the middle of nowhere, no running water, bucket bats, isolation, learning a new language. I just knew if I can do this, the hardest thing that I'll ever do in my life, I can do anything after that. So once you have those challenges early on in life, your confidence level shoots up.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And I would look at people that didn't have kids that were successful, and I would have so much respect for them, because that's what I put my I don't know. That's what I give credit to, is having a child young. That's what helped build me. But for some people, like, do you have kids?
No.
Okay, you don't have kids, but you're doing very well. So I'm like, oh, bro, this guy is like super disciplined, super like organized. And I give a lot of credit to people that don't have kids that did it, because like you have to find struggle somewhere else.
Exactly.
Another way, right? So yeah.
And that's what I always believe, is that everybody has their own set of challenges.
Yeah.
Whether that's, having a kid young, whether that's financial troubles, growing up in a place where there's not a lot of resources. But you figure it out. I feel like the most successful people are, for the most part, people that come from either nothing or they've had to really work harder to get to that, because it wasn't handed anything, Like, I don't come from money. I'm from Hilo, public school education, Hawaiian immersion. Like, I had to figure out or create my own path to get where I'm at. And, we didn't have a lot of role models growing up on like social media, because we didn't grow up with social media.
Right. I had Hulk Hogan.
I grew up half with social media, half without.
Yeah.
But
I'm older. I'm way older than you.
You're like 10 years older only. So you're just a decade older.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had you didn't have a father figure.
No.
I had two father figures. I have a dad, step parents.
Gotcha.
I have mom, stepmom. So I had a lot of great role models growing up. So that's an advantage that I had. I had a great childhood.
Yeah.
But then I had to find hardships and struggles my own way.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
That was a big part of me joining the Peace Corps, is that I wanted to challenge myself and see what I'm capable of. Can I survive this?
So you were in another country.
Yeah.
With no water.
Yeah. I had a well.
Okay.
No running water.
Yeah. And then you had to use a restroom. You had to cook.
I had a hole in the ground squad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bucket bats, stuff like that.
And what was the mission? Did you have to do like things?
I taught English for 2 years.
Gotcha.
And then I extended for a year because I really liked it. And I worked with a community health organization doing their communications and stuff.
See, that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
The goal of the Peace Corps is to live like the locals, So like even how you get paid, like it's a volunteer, but you have a monthly allowance.
Okay.
But it's equivalent to what they get paid over there. So we got paid $180 US a month.
Jeez.
So which was enough for us to get by over there, because the community provides the house and stuff like that. So you still have the struggle of like, I don't have a lot of money. I also don't have a savings that I can dip into just in case this money runs out.
Right. You're not
I don't
partying
have parents where I can just be like, can you guys send me money? Because I got 5 siblings, so they got other kids they got to take care of.
So in this area where you're doing this work, life is pretty rough for all the locals.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world. People live off less than $1 a day.
Okay, so what do they do for like, do they have like Friday nights? Or like, how we have Aloha Friday, we go out, no one works on the weekends? Or is it like a struggle every day?
Depends. I mean, they have their normal jobs throughout the week. And if you're a farmer, you're in the rice fields and stuff like that. In the rural places, it's a lot rougher. In the city, people have more normal jobs, but it's still a struggle, because you're not making a lot. There's no middle class. There's rich and poor.
Gotcha. So where you're at, it's kind of like the poor area?
So you usually get placed in a site that's like they need help.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, even Peace Corps, you're sent to developing countries.
And so what do you do for fun then? Like you
do your job, and then other than that, because especially for education volunteers, you go based off the school schedule.
Oh, okay.
So you have summer, the days off, like how we have holidays.
Okay.
Those days I would like travel with other volunteers, see other places.
Oh, okay.
You do side jobs. Like I helped open up a library, and I got computers for our community, and then you play soccer on the weekends with the other teachers.
Gotcha.
You can just go walk around, go to the market, talk stories with people, practice your Malagasy. So that you find ways to keep yourself entertained. You know, like I bought a dartboard, I bought a guitar, I bought nunchucks. You know, like I've like did all kinds of stuff just to keep me entertained and just like work on myself. Like I'm gonna be here for this year. I don't have Wi-Fi. You know, let me just work on all these other skills.
Yes. You know? So wait. You can jam nunchucks?
I got nunchucks, yeah.
Can you jam?
So the funny thing about me learning nunchucks is I always loved nunchucks growing up because of Michelangelo from Ninja Turtle.
My favorite Ninja Turtle.
A big Ninja Turtle fan.
Yes.
So I would get these foam nunchucks from Amazon, like in college, and I'll just swing them around just for like not knowing what I'm doing, but just for fun, just because I loved it and I was being silly.
Yeah.
I'd post about it, so people knew I liked nunchucks. And when I went to Madagascar, I brought those foam nunchucks, and my crew that I went with, they knew I liked nunchucks. So during my second year, during the summer, we went to the north of Madagascar to volunteer at an orphanage. So we'd live at the orphanage during the week, and then during the weekends, we'd go to like the Peace Corps. Every like big city, the Peace Corps has a meva, which is like this like a house for Peace Corps volunteers when they're traveling. So we'd stay there on the weekends, and one of the security guards at the Meva in Diego, that was the name of the place up north, he was this old guy, Jean Pierre, whatever. I can't believe I don't really remember his name. He was a nunchuck master. But he's like missing front teeth, like old, really skinny guy, runs marathons, like does karate. One of the Peace Corps volunteers came to me like, Kamaka, this guy outside is doing nunchucks. So he makes his own nunchucks, like wooden nunchucks. So I would volunteer at the orphanage during the weekdays, and then on the weekends I would train with him nunchucks.
That's crazy.
So he would teach me how to do it with these big like wooden nunchucks. So I would like hurt myself.
Knock out your. That's how he lost his teeth.
I still got my teeth.
Yeah.
So, but it would be sore. But so he taught me the basics. So I can do basics. I can't do anything crazy. But I can do like some fun stuff. And
I love nunchucks too.
I can teach you.
Yeah.
It's actually really easy. So it's a flow sport.
Okay.
So it's based on the momentum and stuff like that. But it's a lot easier than you think. It's just about like kind of the movement and stuff. But like even doing this stuff, it's pretty simple. Like we would go. I think I have my book here that I wrote in Madagascar.
Oh, cool! You wrote a book?
Yeah.
Bruh.
It's actually I had a blog in Madagascar that I turned into a book after the race 50K. But this is like up north. So like me and my other friend here and our other friend, we would like it became kind of like a crew. Like a bunch of us would start
doing the nunchucks.
Go to the beach and practice.
And then so funny.
I would teach other people, and like there's probably like a solid like 7 to 8 volunteers during my time that learned nunchucks. I bought nunchucks from that guy.
That's so wild.
Just the random Peace Corps stories
that's super fun. I love it.
And I could share so many Peace Corps stories like that. But again, I want to keep the focus on you.
Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I love talking stories. This is what it's all about. But I'm sure my listeners have heard similar stories like this all the time. So you ended up, doing the insurance. COVID happened. You had to pivot again.
Yep.
And then what made you go to the markets? Because that's when I first met you. And then, that kind of, from there on, kind of.
So, what's funny? When I met you, I was actually probably... So it's probably it was probably like a year out. So what happened was when I pivoted, I had actually launched the Catch and Cook tours, and I got booked. I was booked every weekend for like 3 months. And I was like, oh, wow, we're booked. COVID happens. Everybody canceled their trips to Hawaii. Everyone pulled out of the Catch and Cook tours. And I'm like, oh, crap, now what? So my wife shows me a picture of a sushi cake on Facebook. This sushi cake's got thousands of shares, hundreds of thousands of likes, and it's this, I think it was in the Philippines. I don't remember, but it's this sushi cake of rice and fish. And I'm like, and she's like, look, it's so cool. It's
big sushi, basically.
Yeah. Like just like with rice and I was like, a sushi cake. What is that? She's like, I don't know. They just put raw fish and look at it. It's super cool. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it looks ugly. So that night I went, grabbed all the ingredients and I made one. And I was like, I put the rice, I got the molds, I put sashimi, and I just made one. And I took a photo of it, put it on Instagram.